Alright, today I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to make a quick and easy fabric rose. So we're going to take a strip of fabric, and you're going to want to make sure you've got at least an inch of space to work in, maybe up to a couple of inches. I've even made some of these that are about 4 inches long on each side. And you want to cut out 5 hump-shaped sections of fabric that have just a little bit of attachment in between each piece. Okay, so there we go. We have our 5 humped piece of fabric with just a little bit of connecting space between each hump. And now I've already got my other ones cut out. For each rose you build, you're going to need 3 of these shapes of fabric. So here we go. Already got 1, 2, and 3. And now what you need to do is go ahead and put a basting stitch right down the center line where they all connect. And so if you're doing a basting stitch, you can go ahead and do it on a machine. And what you want to do is make it a really wide straight stitch, so you want it to have really big stitches and just go straight along here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pieces through the machine. Make sure that you have ample amounts of thread hanging off each end of your pieces, because you're going to need to work with that and tie that later. Alright, so we went ahead and got our bottom edges of our little hump shapes or petal shapes basted. Now it's time to go ahead and tighten those bastes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one end of your base stitch and take the threads, pull them apart, and knot them up a few times to make sure that they're nice and secure. Alright, so now we know that this end is not going to come undone. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that with my other ones. We'll always do it with the short end. Alright, so we have all 3 of these ends knotted, and we're going to go ahead and cinch or gather from the other side. So on the other side, just grab one of the 2 threads and then just start pulling. Now try and make sure all these petals stay on the same side while you pull. That way, when you gather, you'll know that all the petals will be on the right side, and you'll be able to keep them in the right shape for the flower. So just kind of gathering very gently. Gathers can easily break, so make sure you're quite gentle. Alright, I think I've gotten it. So I need to grab my 2 threads from the other side and match the 2 ends together. Make sure all the petals are on the same side as each other. And then tie a knot between the 2 sections of thread. The 2 threads from one side and the 2 threads from the other side. There we go. So with that done, we can go ahead and cut that little bit of thread. Just leave a little bit at the end there to keep those knots together, and remove that. And once we've done that, what we get is this perfect little gather of petals. And if we spread that apart, since we have that nice circle in the center holding it all together, we get this nice 5-petaled flower. So let's do that with our other 2 as well. Alright, so now we have our 3 little flower shapes. Honestly, these are great little flowers that you can use for decorations on anything already, but we want to turn them into a rose. So we're going to go ahead and take these flower pieces, and I'm actually going to decide which one goes where based on how wide the bottom is. The wider the bottom, the further down it goes. So we're going to stack this one on top of this one, and while we're doing this, make sure you're making the petals break up a little bit. So you want a petal on top to be between the space of 2 petals down below. And then just repeat that process with your last one as well. And voila. So we're now going to take this shape and just quickly run it through the machine. Do a little circle of stitching, straight stitching, nice tight straight stitching right around this circle right in the center. And then we'll be ready to have a finished rose. Alright, so we now have our rose sewn together. We just need to snip off the threads, and then we're going to turn it upside down and just fluff it a bit. So there's our cute little rose. With a lot of mine, I actually went ahead and did some painting on them. I dyed some of them yellow and then dipped the petals down into some watered down paint, and it was a red color, so it created this nice variegation of reds to yellows on the petals, which is really pretty. So you can do pretty much anything. You can dye these, you can paint these, you can use them as little ornaments on your clothing or accessories. So I hope you really enjoy making those. They're super simple and easy to make, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a few of the ones I've been using on my current project. So here's the one I painted. Added these nice yellows and then reds on top, and then a little bit of sparkle to finish it off. Makes a great accessory for a crown. They're super fun, especially when you get a whole bunch of them made together, and you can just splash them across a piece to create that nice, whimsical, beautiful fairy tale look. I hope that you have a lot of fun making these. They are super cute to add on to clothing, especially like you could add these to little kids' clothing, you could add these to your own dresses. And let me know if you have any questions, if you have any issues while creating them, and I will help you out as much as I can in the comments below.